Las Vegas Next Exit.
Episode 1, Return of the Grit. With your host, Rick Shipley, featuring Dr. Harpo and the band, Keith L. Hall as the Grit Girl. With our guest tonight, Heroes for Real, the cast of the new indie film series Beguilement, and the amazing vocal talent of Marisa Johnson.
It's gonna be great!
Hey guys, it's Rick Shipley with Las Vegas Grit Next Exit. What's the next exit, you might be asking yourself? Well, guess what? It's something completely new that we want to show to you guys. Make sure you guys stick around and see where the next exit takes you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Harpo and the band. Woo! Yeah!
She called me her barbarian man. Hey, baby, got too much. She called me her barbarian man. I got to fix that thing in a way I can. Now I used to have those old snap-on tools. Yeah, my baby used to have those old snap-on tools. Now she saw myself was rich and now we're playing by my rules. She said, show your choice like you, baby. Show your choice like you, baby. Show your choice like you, baby. Show me how to work it time.
This episode of Las Vegas Grit Next Exit is brought to you by the movie So in Love, a new film written and directed by Christopher Nation, coming soon. This episode of Las Vegas Grit Next Exit is brought to you by Nick Houck Realtor. With Wardley Real Estate. Need a new home? Call Nick Houck.
Hey guys, welcome to the next exit. I actually do have Kris Vespi here with me today, and as a matter of fact, he leads a group called Heroes for Real. Now, you guys, I know it's kind of like a cosplay sort of thing, but you guys also do a lot of charities, things like that. You know, tell me a little bit about, or actually everybody out here, what Heroes for Real is all about.
Well, Heroes for Real is a company that we just recently founded this year, and it comes from
my original company that I created back in 2012 was called the Iron Web, but we wanted to go further than that. We want to take Heroes to the next level to help charities, and not only help those in need, but really just get the word out into the community that we can all be a hero if we, put our minds to it, and our bodies, and even our spirits, and that's what it means to be a real hero.
You do a lot of other characters as well, right? I know that you, I saw online that you do a bunch of different ones. Let's see, Captain America is one that you do as well. Who else? It was like Batman, right?
Well, Batman is the next most popular character of mine, and obviously Batman's very popular amongst people that like heroes and also in the movie and television genre as well. Going into the Tim Burton 1989 Batman film, I fell in love with the character. And then, like you mentioned, other characters, which is Captain America, I do Deadpool, I have a Punisher cosplay, and an Aquaman, which I most recently used out at the lake. We went out to Nelson's Landing for a party.
Right.
And you see Aquaman cliff diving, and all the children are looking up going, "That's Aquaman."
You were down at Neonopolis recently, right?
We actually held an event, and this was in the company that was running this. A young lady named Nicole Ziegler helped put on this production, which was called Super Mayday, and it's an annual event, which is once a year here in Las Vegas. This was the second annual one, but what it is it's an attempt at the largest gathering of superheroes in one place at one time to break the Guinness Book of World Records. So the thing is we had over 25 different charities that we were honoring at that event, and that's what it was really all about. I mean, for anything from the armed forces to kids with autism, it really created an awareness with the community, and we were proud of that.
You were out at Nelson's Landing too, right?
Yeah, I was out there too.
And, Aquaman's up there.
Yeah, I guess you didn't know, but I had the Spider-Man mask in my swim pocket. So I put it on and I just jump off and I'm like doing the little, poses, action poses. Yeah.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. That probably drove the kids nuts too, right? Yeah. Oh my God,
the kids love Spider-Man. That's actually one thing I really like about doing Spider-Man is he's really friendly with the kids. I can like jump around with them and play with them. Also, when we go on the strip, I carry a little can of silly string.
Oh, silly string, yeah.
Because I notice a lot of the kids walking by now, they're maturing at a young age. You know? Like I would wave to them as Spider-Man, and these kids are only like 8 years old, and they just want to keep walking forward. Like not even say hi. And then I blast them with a silly string, and it's like I blasted the kid out of them, and they're like laughing, and they're like they actually smile like they're a kid again. I'm like, wow, that really does something for me,
And then to find these folks that not only wanted to get involved with it, because Alex and we work together as magicians.
Oh, really? Yes.
And the other individual that plays my Bane is also a magician. And so we relate to the performance level of one another.
You guys have Facebook. Do you have a website, things like that?
Currently, we're working on getting our website up and running. Because like I said, Heroes for Real is still a fledgling company, only founded this year.
Okay.
But we do have a Facebook account. And
we're going to put it up on the bottom of the screen here. So.
it's right here.
Yeah, it's magical. Well, definitely thank you guys for coming out. And, if you guys really want some really cool Heroes for Real, these guys are the real deal. So, yeah, check them out. Thank Kris. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Hey, stick around, guys. We'll see where the next segment takes you.
Next segment, we'll be right back.
It's gonna be great!
This is Edgar. Edgar and I went to the movies last night, saw a movie. And during the funny scenes, he laughed like hell. During the sad scenes, he cried like hell. And when the hero got the girl, he cheered. After the movie, a lady sitting in back of me said, "I'm really surprised at your bird. I'd never seen such reactions. I was really surprised. And I said, I was too. Quite frankly, he didn't like the book.
This episode of Las Vegas Grit Next Exit is brought to you by the movie So in Love, a new film written and directed by Christopher Nation, coming soon.
Dear God, please help me through this. Amen.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, what is it?
Have you and David did you make love with him?
Yeah, about 2 months ago. Dear Mom and Dad, I need to tell you something. I'm pregnant. I thought about an abortion, but I couldn't do it. I know you are hurt and disappointed in me, but I'm 6 months pregnant, all alone and scared. I really need your support. All I want right now is for you to be here with me. Mom, Dad, please help me. I don't know what to do. Love, Sarah.
This episode of Las Vegas Grit Next Exit is brought to you by Nick Hauk Realtor. With Wardley Real Estate. Need a new home? Call Nick Hauk.
Are you enjoying this? Basking in your so-called victory? Well, if you ask me, your celebration is a bit premature. You'll never be free from me.
Welcome back to the Next Exit. We have the cast crew of Beguilement. They did actually check out a little bit of the Facebook page and all that sort of stuff. It seems kind of twisted and fun.
All from here.
Now you actually, Kris, you wrote it and you're directing it.
Yes.
And producing.
Yes, yeah. I'm pretty much doing a million jobs for it. I wrote it about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And we've been working on it for the past year. We filmed the first part from like June until December of 2013. For the past 3 months, we've been filming pretty much every week to get the other 3 parts done.
Right, so you got to work around other people's schedules, things like that. I know what that's like.
Yeah, it's a 4-part miniseries.
Okay.
It's definitely a dark story.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically about a serial killer that kind of eluded capture for 20 years. And it's set in present day. We have a present day Detective Ryan, played by Michael O'Neill.
I know Michael, yes. And Dee, she's also in it as well. So let's talk a little bit about you.
Well, I play attorney Carol Banal, and defending the person. And there's a little twist, but I don't want to give that away.
Oh, not yet.
I don't want to give that away. But I would like to say something about this young man. He is not only a director, he is a fabulous writer. For a young man at his age to be this mature in writing is just wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When you started the miniseries on this, did you kind of figure it all out beforehand, or did you write everything out first?
Yeah,
or?
so I had been working pretty much about 2 years ago is when I got this like sliver of idea about what I wanted to do. Originally, Beguilement was just supposed to be a standalone short film.
Okay.
Because originally it was just supposed to be like this person just recently escaped and then they catch them.
Okay.
But instead we have like this 20-year gap, and it gives me a lot more time, like a lot more freedom to write a really intricate kind of story. So when I wrote the first part and we were going to film it, I did already have all 4 parts figured out what was going to happen beat per beat, and I knew what was going to happen from beginning to end. So that way, when the first part was created, it wasn't just, okay, now we have the first part, let's make the other 3. It was part of the series.
I know that we were talking earlier, and you said that you intentionally shot each one of the 4 parts differently.
Yes.
And lit them differently, things like that.
Yes.
To give a different feel per each one.
Every single episode has its own unique look and its own part of the story that makes it unique and makes it its own.
Gotcha. Now, does he actually give you freedom as actors on set to really kind of play with things? Or is it, you know, we got to be structured? Or tell me a little bit about it, yeah.
He's very organized, OCD. But that's what makes it so perfect.
Right.
And he gives us our playtime, but he's, you know, it's very structured.
Okay,
you know,
gotcha.
because we're working with Michael O'Neill,
right?
Okay, who torments my life.
And he's a fun guy.
Oh no, I love him to death. He knows that. You know, we have our small playtime, but then it's back to work. It's
right.
You know, because Kris is very determined, very organized, and you know.
And that does lead into, you know, being able to keep on structure, keep on, you know, doing the things you know that you have to set up. I mean, because, you know, hey, it would be kind of awkward if you end up play the scene comedically and it really doesn't fit with the rest of the segment.
There's no comedian stuff in this.
No. Except for the bloopers.
Except for the bloopers, which...
Hey, that's the separate reel.
Oh, he better do that.
I will, I promise.
But that's some of the fun parts of it all, because I've been on plenty of movies myself, and, you know, it's always fun to have fun, you know, because that's what makes it enjoyable for everybody, you know? Yeah. At least I feel that.
And I like to feel like I give my actors freedom to, like, because that's what I love about actors is that I wrote the characters, but seeing them brought to life by these people, and wonderful actors, by the way, Michael O'Neill, Joe Palabinski, Francesca Marino, Dee Catrone, Maureen DeRocher, Victoria Viveros, Adrienne McLean, Nalia Shakarova, Rose Hill, Mabel Maltzby, a lot of really good, talented people, and they just really bring these characters to life, and I kind of let them, like, you know, do their own thing, and if there's something that I have a vision on, or if there's something that I definitely want them to steer more towards, I'll let them know, but I still give them more freedom to express how they feel the character would portray. And
okay, guys, you make sure that you check out Beguilement. There is a Facebook page, I know that. You know, did you have a web page?
Yeah, it's so we have www.facebook.com/beguilement. That's BEGUILEMENT.
Okay. We're gonna put that on the bottom screen.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you guys for showing up and talking about Beguilement. Yeah. Stick around and wait till you see where the next exit takes you.
Next exit, we'll be right back.
It's going to be great.
This episode of Las Vegas Grit Next Exit is brought to you by the movie So in Love, a new film written and directed by Christopher Nation, coming soon.
The other night I took Edgar out to a nice dinner. We went to the finest restaurant in Las Vegas. The waiter come over and says, "What do you mean by bringing a creepy old thing like that in here? A nice place like that?" And Edgar looked him straight in the eye and said, "I'm sorry, sir. It'll never happen again."
This episode of Las Vegas Grit Next Exit is brought to you by Nick Hauk Realtor. With Wardley Real Estate. Need a new home? Call Nick Hauk.
Welcome back to the next exit. Now I have somebody really special here for us today. This is Marisa Johnson. You just came out with a brand new CD, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I got a copy right here. Just, you know, show you guys here at home. This is actually your CD.
That's my debut album, actually.
Debut album.
Very first album I've ever done. It's very exciting. It was a 3-year process.
3 years.
So I'm very excited to be sharing my baby with the world.
I see a little quote on here.
Yes, actually. That's from Renee Fleming. She's one of the world's best-selling sopranos in the world. And she personally listened to my CD and endorsed me. So that's kind of exciting.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So you went through the process of recording this CD, and am I right to assume that you wrote the music as well?
Yes, I'm a composer, producer, singer-songwriter. I wrote them all myself. I feel like it's very important to be a classical crossover genre, which really isn't a genre yet, but I feel like it's very important to write original music for this so that we can be a genre.
Now, when you say crossover, people might not exactly know what you mean crossover-wise. What would be your best way to explain to everyone what kind of crossover you're talking about here?
Well, that's the cool thing about classical crossover. You can be crossing over into anything, which is really cool. So pop or rock or EDM, anything that you can even think of, which is cool. My music is a mixture of more classical and pop musical elements. So I orchestrate for string ensemble. You'll have, the violins, playing out with an electric guitar, which is really cool. So I feel like it's important for me to bring classical music to the younger generation. And you do that by updating it. You write lyrics that people can relate to, and you use instrumentation that people are familiar with. Drums, electric guitars, electric basses. But you also kind of sneak in and add the strings in there and have this operatic voice. My goal when I write music is to write a really good song.
I have listened to all the songs on your site, of course, and I thought it was really kind of wild because, yes, it's not exactly like listening to classical music, but it's a little different than a modern day song. It definitely, it even gained the attention of my 14-year-old daughter too.
Yay, that's exciting.
She was actually really excited that I was interviewing you today, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I have no idea.
It's especially designed for a younger generation to really get a chance to see and get inspired, right?
Yeah, and even 20, 30-somethings, I really want classical music to be accessible to everyone. I want you to be able to relate to it. So my music is in English, and the lyrics are very relatable. So write about real-life events.
Yes. So tell me about what it was like actually going through the recording process with this
Well, as it was my first album, it was kind of scary. I had to learn so many things. I learned how to be a producer along the way. I learned how to be a composer along the way. Learned how to hire different musicians and what works, what doesn't work. So I hired a 20-piece ensemble orchestra, and we recorded at the UNLV recording studios. And then I recorded the vocals at the Tone Factory with Vinny, and he's amazing. And then I had it mixed in LA by a film composer, Satoshi Noguchi, and he's done film music for Oblivion, Despicable Me, the new Annie movie. So it was very important to me to have the best people that I could possibly have to work on this, because I always feel like if my name is going on it, it's going to be the very best that I can possibly do.
Absolutely.
So, and he did film music, and my music is very epic, kind of like film music. So I had him mix it, and then I had it mastered in London by John Davis, and John Davis did Lana Del Rey, U2, Led Zeppelin.
Right.
So like I said, I really felt like it was important to really showcase my work in the best way that I possibly could.
Right. Now, of course, you mentioned quite a few different places here, but we're here, in Vegas. Are you from Vegas? Or?
No, I'm not, but I've been here for 2.5 years, and I really feel like I grew up in Vegas, in the sense that I've since living here, I felt like I found who I am as an artist, I found my voice, and I found the most supportive, creative community. It's just been great. Everyone here has been so supportive of what I do, because I know it's a little bit different, and it's not quite something you can put in a box. But I feel like the community here is just really just welcomed me with warm, opening arms. And I've sang at the Smith Center and the Composer Showcase, and everyone's been really awesome about having me there, and it's just been great.
And of course, you do have a website.
Yes, I do. It's www.marisa, and that's MARISA -Johnson-Johnson.com. So Marisa-Johnson.com.
And you have a Facebook and all
Facebook,
that sort of
Marisa
stuff.
V. Johnson, YouTube. Basically, if you put my name in Google, all my links come up on the first page. So Google me, Facebook me. I'm very easily accessible. I love my fans, and I have a great support system. And this album has been really great. I've already shipped it off to Germany and Australia and the UK. Surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but overseas they like classical music a little bit better. But I'm hoping to change that, you know, trying to make Americans love culture.
Well, Americans very pop culture anyway, you know,
Yes,
so,
yes.
you know, one of the things is they don't know exactly what they like until it's brought to light, you know.
Here it is, guys.
Yes, right? And, you know, you actually are going to perform one of the songs for us today, right?
Yes, I am.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Well, make sure that you check Marisa out, and we'll be right back to check out her performance. So stick around and wait till you see where the next exit takes you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marisa Johnson.
Past mistakes come creeping in. Stage lights up your every scene. Your cue is on, the curtains rise, but they can see through your disguise. Masquerade, masquerade, dance until you start to fade. Masquerade, masquerade, is it worth the price you pay? Hollow shell you feel inside. You don't know if you're alive. Have you become your own creation of secrets and lies and desolation? Masquerade, masquerade, dance until you start to fade. Masquerade, masquerade, is it worth the price you paid? Empty words and twisted rules, so much pain, but where's the wounds? Pose and strike up the big parade, but who are you? Masquerade, masquerade, dance until you start to fade. Masquerade, masquerade, was it worth the price you paid? Masquerade, masquerade, dance until you start to fade. Masquerade, masquerade, is it worth the price you paid? Oh,
All right. Woo, definitely. Yeah, what a great show. All right. Big thank you to all of our guests today. Heroes for Real, cast and crew of Beguilement, Marisa Johnson, and of course, Dr. Harpo and the band. Make sure that you check out Next Exit and sign up for our YouTube channel here, because that's where you're going to see where the next exit is going to take you.
It's gonna be great!
Las Vegas Next Exit.